Alrighty, folks, this is Normal Bill. Today I'm going to talk about the Notrh Payette again. I love the Notrh Payette. And someone asked, how do you run the Norfolk of the Payette? Well, some of your information you can get is from American Whitewater. They have guides on rivers. They give different things. So here's the description. It's not short, it's kind of long. I'm going to read it to you. So the Norfolk Payette. The section of the North Fork of the Payette is the 16 miles from Banks and is considered Big Water Class 5. For the past several years, it has served as the site of the North Fork Championship, regarded by many as the most challenging whitewater competition of the world. Paddling on the North Fork began in 1975 when local boaters Roger Hazelwood, Keith Taylor, and Tom Murphy astounded everyone by becoming the first to run the final 2.5 miles of the North Fork. In 1977, Idaho's Rob Lessers, Kentucky's Bob Walker, Dennis Whitehouse, and Bob Letter and the Crunch Bunch negotiated the entire run for the first time. That was in 1977. I was born in 1976, so it was 48 years ago. Soon after, the river was recognized as a unique whitewater resource that challenged the world's most accomplished paddlers. The hydropower threats emerged. Idaho Power Company sought to dewater the North Fork by hydropower in the late 1970s when they ceased their efforts in 1986. Boise's infamous billionaire and potato king, J.R. Simplot, launched his own effort to dewater the river, followed by Gem Irrigation District. In response, Friends of the Payette and then Idaho River United formed to protect the river. The Conservation Alliance issued their first grant for $40,000 to fund the effort that was ultimately successful when Idaho Governor Cecil Andrus signed the first version of the Payette River Plan in 1991. This plan protected the Payette River system from new dams and hydropower development by establishing the river as a state protected river. The ultimate outcome exceeded the expectations of Rob Lesser and Pete Skinner, who penned an article for a 1979 issue of the American Whitewater Journal, hoping we would secure 2 weekend releases a month as mitigation for a hydropower development that seemed all but certain to dewater the river. Today, the river flows throughout the year and attracts paddlers from around the world who come to enjoy a true Class 5 classic. The entire North Fork run is parallel to Highway 55 and drops an impressive 1,700 feet along the length of the run from Smiths Ferry to Banks. It is usually referred to in 3 segments: the top 5, middle 5, and lower 5. The lower 5 is the most frequently paddled and where most people start. The lower 5 rapids are more straightforward than those upstream, and the run makes a great after-work Class 5 fix for those looking for a warm-up to the upper stretches. The top 5 begins just below Smiths Ferry, where the river drops into the canyon in a rapids that include Steepness, Nutcracker, Disneyland, and Esther and Challenge boaters. This section ends at Big Eddy Campground, a rare break from the near constant action of the run. The middle 5 is marked by a cable footbridge representing the start of the heart of the run, with rapids that include Slide, Bad Jose, Nowhere to Run, Chaos, Bouncer Down the Middle, Pecmetrialis, Jacob's Ladder. Jake's is a signature rapid on the run, and its own set of names for features within the rapid that include Rock Drop, Taffy Puller, and Ocean Wave. Also, Pencil Sharpener at the very beginning. Below Jacob's Ladder, the intensity continues with no let up as you enter the golf course, with more holes than an 18-hole golf course. Some put in below here for a run down to Banks paddlers refer to as the lower 7. So if you put in below golf course, that's the lower 7. Screaming Left Turn, Jaws 1, and Jaws 2 mark the end of the middle 5. The lower 5 begins and the pullout for Houndstooth. While this section includes only 4 named rapids of Houndstooth, Otter's Run, Juicer, and Crunch, the whitewater in between is continuous and paddlers are advised to bring their A game, particularly during high water in spring. Those who have not paddled the North Fork are advised to start with this section to get a feel for the raw power and intensity of this river. The lower 5 can be run during the low water from Otter Slide to Banks, taking on more of a creaky vibe. It is still challenging in technical water. The overall grade reduces to Class 4 plus below 300 CFS. Below 300 CFS. Logistics. The standard put in for the top of the run is Highway 55, mile marker 94.6. Footbridge access at Highway 55, mile 89.2 serves as a put in for the middle 5, and Jacob's Ladder can be viewed from the pullout at Highway 55 at mile marker 86.4. The put in for the lower 5 is the pullout at Highway 55, mile marker 83.8. The takeout is in Banks at Highway 55 miles on the river right, which again, Banks is the center of the universe. So steepness is at 0.7 miles. Nutcracker is at 1.4. Disneyland is at 2.4. S-turn is at 4 miles. And then Big Eddy is at 4.67. After Big Eddy, you'll hit what we call the lake. The lake is like, I don't know, like a half a mile. And it's like a mile, I think the lake is. The footbridge is at 5.3. So yeah, 4.67 to 5.3. That's like a half a mile. So half to 3/4 of a mile is the lake. And then you get into Slide and Bad Jose. Slide is at 5.5. Bad Jose is at 5.8. You can see how fast these rapids are literally stacked on top of each other. I mean, 5.5 to 5.8 is not even a third of a mile. And then from there, 2/10 of a mile, you got nowhere to go, nowhere to run. I think we also call that Plinko. We call that Plinko. Chaos is 6.2 miles. Bouncer down the middle, 6.4. Peck is 7.2. Jacobs is 7.9. Golf course is at 8 miles. Screaming Left Turn is at 9. Jaws 1 is 9.3. There's Jaws 2, and Jaws 2 is at 9.4. Houndstooth is at 10.93, 10.94. Otter's Run is at 12.5. So they get a little further apart as you get down, but it's all stacked on top of each other. And then when they say steepness, that's just like the start of it because they're long. They're really long rapids. So again, that is the breakdown of all the rapids by American Whitewater. There's, like I said, there's other things like there's holes. It's Creature Crafters. We know where all the holes are to play. And Ocean's Way was one of the best holes you can get pictures and video from. Every time we go in, we usually set up to shoot Ocean's Way because it's a great play hole. You can be in there anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Usually we put small boats in, and then once they've had enough, sometimes you run a big boat in to bump them out. So, but you can get out. So anyway, this is Bill Guyman, Crazy Bill TV. As always, it's Class 2 plop and drop until you swim.